Smashing Pumpkins, Cherub Rock. That, of course, Rick, is available on their greatest hits.
Brilliant.
If you want.
I mean, that's how I rock. So
Yeah.
I know they. I'm very much the shape of a cherub as well.
Well,
now.
indeed.
Naked with a couple of
and a rosy big arse.
and a trumpet.
Yeah.
Do they have trumpets?
I don't know. I've just had an email here. Monkey news.
Yeah.
From a listener.
Yeah.
Monkey spotted holidaying in Cornwall. A chimp was spotted holidaying in Cornwall last week after befriending a family of 3. One onlooker said, "It was incredible. He dressed and behaved exactly like a human being. He even settled the hotel bill at the end of their stay. The only telltale sign was his lack of table manners and the incoherent babble when he opened his mouth." There we are. So,
Well, what do you think of that, Carl?
that's the listeners, Carl. That's Joanne.
Amusing, articulate, accurate. She remembered exactly who's there and everything, setting in the bill. It's all there. So, I mean, even though people think that you're slightly simian, slightly less than human on the evolutionary ladder, they do listen to you. So, I mean, I don't know who's more stupid in the end, you or the listeners.
Well, you may recall, Rick, at the end of last week when Carl had to shoot off early, we issued a little request for listeners just to bombard Carl's email with just pointless emails that really weren't about anything, just to clog up his email for when he returned.
Yeah.
Rick, they sent them all to us.
Brilliant.
I mean, that's the kind of listeners that we've got. We've got reams here on our email of just junk.
I mean, it's like a Marx Brothers plot, isn't it? I mean, just listen.
Listen to what we say.
I got one, about a shaved cat. Well, that's not pointless. I'll be reading that later.
Oh, you're loving it, yeah.
I'm happy.
That'll keep you going for a couple of weeks.
I'll be reading that later.
Did you get to the monkey sanctuary? Because this was the big thing. You were going into Cornwall, you were going to visit the monkey sanctuary. I've never seen someone more excited. You had 2 days put aside for the monkey sanctuary.
I know.
How did it go, Monkey World?
We were on our way, right? I found like a little, in a little cottage that we had, right? It's like a little folder, with little leaflets in saying if you're into mountains, you want to go here.
Yeah.
If you're into castles and that. Little monkey
world.
on the leaflet, right? So I thought I'll be needing that. Took that out, made sure that's safe and that, right? We get in the car, getting ready to go. My dad says, "Where is it?" I look on the back. It's in a place called Low or something like that, right? Yeah. So, we're on our way. Can't believe me luck. It's going to be a great day and all that.
Yeah.
And then, start looking at the leaflet, right? And, noticed didn't have any chimps there.
Yeah, it's not Monkey World.
It wasn't a monkey world.
Well, what was it called then?
Something like...
Monkey Town.
Yeah, it was just... It had, like, woolly monkeys in it. That's what...
It had what?
Woolly monkeys.
What are woolly monkeys?
Those things, Johnny Vegas off the advert. Loads of them. They're dumped now since ITV Digital went under, so they just put them in a cage.
I don't understand.
They're woolly, they're like, they're sort of like little fluffy, little baboon type things, woolly monkeys. I mean, it's not your chimp. It's not your classic chimpanzee.
So did the car screech to a halt?
It was like, it was like the mission in Armageddon. I just said abort. We're on the way back.
So how far have you got before you bothered to read the leaflet?
Probably about 5 miles away from where we were.
So what did you do with yourself? You must have been distraught.
They broke down and then they heard banjo music.
No, we went to a sort of an amusement place.
Arcade.
I'd love to see you in that. What, with putting those coins in, so it has to roll down, and they go flat, and then an arm pushes them.
It was one of them.
Really?
But
I spent years on that when I was little.
Well, there's a new one. I can't be bothered explaining it, but it's a con. We went to this place, right? My mum and dad had been there before, and they said, "You'll love it. It's brilliant. It's got like a war bit in it."
A war bit, right?
Yeah, like, because they know I'm into tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
So you'll be loving that.
So, sorry, I didn't know you were into tanks.
No.
Well, they're alright.
Brilliant. It's gone from one of his childhood passions to they're alright.
I know, yeah. Go on.
And, but it was awful. I mean, my mum and dad had been there before, and he said, "No, you'll love it," but it was like a really miserable day.
Sure.
Right? All the rides and that were broke.
Yeah.
Broke!
It just reminds you of Manchester.
My dad just ended up, he was more interested, there was a really fat family there.
Well, presumably he was breaking into the machines, trying to scoop off the cash.
I like the fact that those poor fat family were going, "Why are those people looking at us?"
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to ride one?
No, but
we're not a ride.
They were massive, and he just like, look at the state of that. The whole family.
Yeah.
Just, fat.
Bloaters, yeah.
All right.
No, but because fat, there's no need for it, is there? And he was really like, oh God. And then he wanted to follow them into the House of Mirrors to see what they look like. But my mum had got bored. She went off to buy a little Snow White figure. She couldn't believe her luck. It was only $2.99.
Yeah.
She thought it was going to be really expensive.
Sure,
so she
she's
bought
classy
one of
lady.
them.
Yeah.
So she enjoyed that. And then my dad says, come on, we go in. It's rubbish, this.
What, the fat family wouldn't let him play with them?
So he just said on the way home, he said, I can safely say that I never want to go there again before I die. So that was that. And then we went home.
Why would he ever give you that information? In case it was like a secret birthday present. You go, oh God, what if they get me a trip to here? Or if he's in a coma and you go, I'll tell you what, bring him out of it.
That fat couple.
yeah.
By his bedside.
Yeah.
But Suzanne said she now realises why I am the way I am after spending like a week with them.
Well,
She
they
said-
told her that they dropped you on your head as a kid, or
No, just like, you know, the way they act and that.
right, yeah.
I
No,
think-
they were saying things like, Suzanne, so, why is the moon out at night and the sun in the day? Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh
it
God,
was-
there's 3 of them.
Suzanne, can you tie my shoelaces again?
It was the bit when my dad said, don't waste money on a coffin for him, just put him in a bin bag.
Someone's left one of those little things in here. It's brilliant,
It's
isn't it?
amazing. What are they called, those things?
I imagine that just then I was thinking of being in the front row at a Morrissey concert and going, can I just play along? They are brilliant.
I don't know what kind of sound that is.
I don't know. It's only used for when Kenneth Williams
Yeah, exactly.
sees someone undressing.
Yeah.
That's the only time that is used, that noise.
Exactly.
That is
But
brilliant.
it's like it was specially created for the Carry On films.
Yeah, we need, I don't know what it is, but we need something when I walk in and see someone changing. Well, what about this? There is a light that never goes out by the Smiths. I phoned Karl up in the week, yeah, and I said, what are you doing? He went, well, even though it's one of my days off, I'm just doing some research on the web. Found anything that said, yeah, I'm doing science. And then he said, you can get wigs for dogs in Tokyo. That's his scientific fact. And I went, what do you mean? Dogs, if they need a wig? I said, if they need a wig, what? Dogs going bald? And he went, like, this is fine to him, he went, it's a stressful city, Tokyo. The world's alright with Karl. He's always got an explanation. I've only ever seen him confused once. When, in Edinburgh, he looked out of his window one day and he saw a bloke putting a parking ticket on some rubbish.
Yeah.
And that genuinely confused him.
Yeah.
He couldn't work out, could you?
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
And the woman breastfeeding her 8-year-old child. You didn't like, did you?
I don't like that. But, the what's the name? Animals with wigs. I kind of thought, after I put the phone down to you, I kind of thought about it, thought, yeah, it's a bit daft, that.
Are you sure it's not the ageing pop group?
No.
The Animals?
But when you think, have you ever seen, like, a bald pet?
No.
It's weird.
What do you mean?
Because my mum, we had a cat, we used to get through loads of cats because we lived in a...
Oh God, it started early today, innit?
What do you mean?
It's only 10 past
Just
1.
cause
What
we
are
lived
you
on,
doing?
No,
Running a restaurant?
We lived on...
Oh God, what do you mean?
No, we lived on like a main road.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
we used to get through a lot of them. My dad
It was
kept
their
saying,
risk.
you know, stop wasting money, you know, it's not
Stop
good.
wasting money, not wasting cats.
Right, so, anyway, we had this cat that was ill all the time. And,
It's just bag of news, probably.
Yeah, malingerer. Yeah, I'm terrified.
I'm going to which house?
Rome. Oh God, bloody hell. Rome.
Don't let me go to the Pilkingtons.
and it, for some reason, it kept being sick all the time. Right?
Yeah, that is nerves. That's definitely nerves.
So my mum kind of thought, oh, I've had enough of this, and she shaved it.
What? Whoa. Whoa. Now I know you're not vets in your family, but what correlation did your mum think there was between it being sick and shaving it?
Because it kept being sick, and it was a pain to wash, because it kept getting
So
caught
she
up.
wanted a dry wipe cat.
So,
Why didn't you just varnish it? What?
it's weird, though.
So now he's cold and sick.
No, but not all of it. She left sort of the back half, but sort of from its waist, sort of.
I love that! Shave it because it's sick on itself!
And
That is
it was
genius.
the weirdest looking thing. I mean, normally I like cats. I'm always like giving yours a stroke on the head and that.
Yeah.
But as soon as she did that, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
can't touch it. And then
So now it's sick, cold, and hated.
Yeah.
Carl.
It must have, I mean, the other cats must have been taking the mick out of it constantly. It's just making things worse. Did it get, I'm hoping that it got run over and was put out of its misery.
no, I think it got all right, that one. Or is that the? Yeah, it did get run over. It did.
Oh,
Something that
God.
was in the paper. I don't know if it's an urban myth or a true one. No,
Go on,
listen,
say it.
right, this
Right,
listen.
I'm there now.
No.
Come on, Carl. Don't let me down. You're allowed to talk. I'm here. Go on, Carl.
Right.
Do it. Do your stuff.
No,
Tell us
this
one.
right, this woman, she wanted to get a nice tan before she went on holiday.
Yeah, did you do?
Right.
Go on.
Yeah.
So
There was a lobster.
no, right. So she went to, like a suntan shop
Yeah.
Yeah.
and said,
Can I have a suntan, please?
I wanna like get brown for my holiday.
Yeah.
So,
Keep talking.
so the woman said, well, yeah, that's alright.
Finish up.
Yeah.
But you can only do 30 minutes when you're going on holiday. And she said, well, I'm going tomorrow, I want to get a nice tan. So she said,
Sure.
no, the rule is, you can only do 30 minutes.
This
So she
isn't the
thought-
one where they put her on a Breville toaster.
No, right? So
That's a good one.
So she has her 30 minutes in that one.
Go on.
Yeah.
Then she goes to, like, Tanzaro's or whatever.
Right,
The
yeah.
ne- the next
That's another
one.
one.
And
Down
she
in the
goes,
tan district.
She goes there and has 30 minutes. Goes to the next one, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's on holiday.
Yeah.
Right? And, she's got a nice tan.
Uh-huh.
But she thinks, God, I'm starting to stink a bit.
Yeah.
Right? So she gets back off holiday and she goes to the doctors and says, look, went on holiday, body's starting
Sorry,
to smell.
you don't go to the doctor because you stink.
No,
You
but she
do.
couldn't work it out. She like had a bath and stuff, and, and
Right.
she still stunk, and
Yeah.
she couldn't work it out. Right? So he says, "Well, tell me what you've been doing. What's
This is an urban novel.
what's
He's loved it. He loved that
There you go. Look, on it, Simon, look, 2 hours is a lot to fill with dribble. Let Carl talk as long as you want, and then play Radiohead. And I'll tell you what, it flies by.
So anyway,
Go on, let him
so
finish.
the doctor says, "Well, tell me what you've been up to," and she said, "Well, what I did was before I went on holiday, I did like about 9 hours on sunbeds."
Right?
And he said, "Oh God."
That's brilliant. Do that bit again. He said, oh, God.
Yeah.
So anyway, it only turned out that the smell was her insides rotting because she
You're a maniac! You're a maniac! Lock yourself up. Turn yourself in.
We're putting him away. You know when a doctor turns to you and says, oh, God, it's bad.
Yeah, I got,
You know, it was their insides rotting.
But
What, because they
I
cooked?
like the fact that the doctor examined her, thought her insides are rotting, then said, what have you been doing? Like a little cryptic, like a teacher go, I mean, you're Carl. Oh, that's amazing.
That was good, though. Come on.
Your insides rotting.
Her insides are rotting.
Have you told her about your auntie? What's your auntie's name? Who farted for 5 minutes and went to the doctor?
aren't we
You're
saving
allowed
that?
to tell that one. You're allowed to tell that one. Well, I better go now, hadn't I? Because
Right.
it's there. This.
Did you meet, just one more thing, did you meet Bowie?
Yeah.
How is he?
Yeah, he's very nice.
Did he say, hello, Rick?
He went, he said, hello, Ricky. I love the office. I went, oh, don't go on about it, for Christ's sake, David.
XFM.
How did baguettes come about? If this is going to be someone cooked a loaf a bit wrong and said, I can still make a sandwich out of it, I'm going to hit you.
No.
Go on then.
Right. Napoleon, when he was at war and that with Russia,
1812, yeah.
yeah, all his soldiers were like, not used to the cold weather and that. So they said, take some clothes in your bag with you because it's going to be
Chilly.
nippy
Yeah.
out there. So they put all the clothes in the bag.
Sure.
They were told.
Oh.
It's Napoleon, for Christ's sake.
No
Uncle.
room for any food.
No room for
You're
any-
joking.
So
Couldn't they make some sort of like sandwich?
no, it wouldn't fit because of all the clothes. You had to take extra gear.
Sure.
for them. So anyway, he said,
I can see where
know.
this is going. I'll be honest.
Is there a baguette-shaped gap left in their holdall?
They thought, let's make some bread that you can fit down your trouser leg.
What?
That's not true! No, it's not, Carl!
Read it in Euston train station. I was waiting to go back to Manchester.
Where did you read
What,
these?
scrawled on the wall in graffiti?
Yeah.
Do you know the
Was it also meet me here for cock fun at 12 o'clock?
The upper crust sandwich shop, Euston Station. It's on the wall.
What do you mean it's on the wall?
Do you know how it says, like, sail on at Dixon's, whatever?
Yeah.
Next to that, there was, like, a bit of information. Once you've read the stuff on Dixon's,
Baguette information.
there's a big thing about the history of the baguette. I read it and I thought,
Wait a minute, we got to make a sandwich we can fit down our trouser leg.
But how can you march and fight with a huge piece of bread down your track?
Although it would be intimidating. You see them coming, you go, sacre bleu, look at the size of them. They're big fellas.
Well,
Blimey. I can't help but feel that could be a practical joke at your expense.
yeah.
Wouldn't do that.
Well, the Earl of
Do you ever
Sandwich...
question anything you read? If it's printed up, is that,
Yeah.
like, fact for you then?
Well, it's not funny. I mean, if they were trying to be funny, it's like... it's not, is it? So it's
Have
information.
you heard us? Things sometimes want to be funny when they're not.
That's exactly what happened with the sandwich. The Earl of Sandwich wanted something he could fit down his pants. And it was those triangle cut sandwiches wrapped in cling film were perfect. You might be right. You might be right.
I am.
Because the Cornish pasty, so they could drop it down the mines, isn't it?
Is it?
They wrapped it up they wrapped up like meat and vegetables in pastry, and they sort of crimped it, and it was like and they dropped it down the mine. So, yeah, that's how that came about.
And bagels were originally made so that people could play hoopla, but then eat afterwards. I don't know if you're aware of that. That is true, Carl.
Well, anyway,
Call my bluff. Is one of them true?
yeah,
They're all true.
They're all true.
Really?
Tell your kids that when you have them.
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, I'm talking in a French accent.
Yeah.
I was pissing by the door when I heard a shit.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm speaking French, Carl.
Do you know what I mean?
That's the rule.
Do you know why people tink the glasses before they have a drink?
Why they tink? The verb to tink.
I do know that, Carl. Is it about poison?
It is.
Here we are.
What, would it make a different noise?
Oh,
Brilliant. Go on, explain
Why?
it.
you
Carl.
explain it, Steve.
No, don't, Steve. You explain it, Carl. Come on.
Oh,
I've
you-
started, so I'll finish. Come on, Carl. Explain why they tink the glasses.
Ages ago,
Yeah.
only people with money had drinking or something.
That's like one of my film reviews. Years ago. Welcome to History Now. Now, ages ago, only people with money had drinking or something.
Keep going, Carl.
Keep going.
Like spirit and stuff. So they'd it's like businessmen with money.
It's easy for you to say. This is getting to be cruel, isn't it?
This is amazing.
Yeah, go on.
Why
Go
did
on.
you open your mouth, Carl? What were you hoping was the best that could happen?
Because you were trying to make me look stupid before with the planet, so I'm not
Whereas you
interrupting
now...
Yeah, go on, though. Come on. Businessmen with money. I've got to drink and ching. Okay, so then with
So
all
they
the drinks.
so they'd nip round to have a chat about the whatever they're earning money with, and they'd say, "Right, do you want a drink then?" And they'd go, "Oh yeah, that'd be all right." So
Yeah.
rather than like just pouring it out of a bottle into a glass and saying, "There you go," it could be going, "Hang on a minute," it could be poisoning me ear and trying to like nick my business idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what they'd do, it sort of pour a bit of his drink into the other person's glass, and you get that tink noise, and that's like cheers, you know.
No, Carl, I've just have a slight amendment there. I think what it was you're absolutely right that they would then test each other's drinks to show that it wasn't poison. But over the years, that was reduced to just chinking the glasses by way of saying, let's not actually bother going through the whole rigmarole. They just did the
Yeah.
chinking of the glasses
Yeah,
as
well,
a kind of symbolic way of saying it.
Yeah, that's good.
It was exhausting though, wasn't it?
I know.
Was it worth it, do you think?
Well, I like that because people carry that with them now. When they do that, they'll think, oh, that bloke's definitely not trying to poison me.
Yeah.
So the horrible thing is that now, when I do the glasses, I can laugh and go, they don't know I've poisoned them.
Exactly.
You should always do the pouring back and forth. It's a shortcut. It's a slippery slope. You know, just be careful.
"26.
26, quite a fit bloke.
Yeah.
Good
What-
looking. Are you good looking?
Well, what is... I don't understand. What are you doing?
Well, I'm just a nice guy, you know. I've seen like those things where, like at Christmas, they go out and give like old people like £100 and that, and you know, have people's dreams come true. So,
You wouldn't just give away beer.
Well,
You're
of course I
gonna- You
would.
wouldn't just give away beer.
of course I would. Why wouldn't I? I will give you 4 cans of beer, okay, and £5. Just give me your address, mate. I'll be round.
But you could be a nut. You could be anyone.
That's the chance you've got to take for beer. Isn't that... Wouldn't you kick yourself if you said, no, I don't want the beer, he might be a nutter, and then you found out you could have had some free beer and lived?
Yeah, but you don't take a chance for beer, do you? You just walk into a pub.
Wow, obviously you
Not a
don't.
chance.
Obviously you don't know. You don't know me because I take a chance for beer. Yeah, 4 cans of beer, mate.
For what? I just give you my address.
Yeah.
You send me the beer.
Yeah.
No. It just doesn't work like that.
Have you got a
It
girlfriend?
does not work like that.
Have you got a girlfriend?
What? Is this what you do? Is this how you do things? You sort of ring people up and just, like, get them into a thing about beer
and then start getting your kicks or something? Is this what you do?
Would you want me to get some kicks?
Oh, I don't know. Are you the sort of person that just rings people, like, phone, you know, and I'll pick up the phone and think I'm doing someone a favour, and then there's all this...
Right,
I don't know what you're doing.
In good faith, right, I'll give you my address, right? My name's Ricky, okay, and, I'm at 97 Charlotte Street. You come round, I'll give you the beer.
What? Why? What for... I just don't understand. I don't understand it's never like this. There's always something behind it. It's never just straight down the line.
You like a beer, yeah?
Of course I like a beer.
With your mates, presumably?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon if you got to know me, we'd probably be mates. Yeah, and we'd have a beer together. No, wait. I reckon if you got to know me, right, we'd be friends, yeah, and then we'd have a beer, wouldn't we?
Have you got that few mates that you need? I think I'm doing someone a favour. Just, you know, might be something important. They've got this, and then you're trying to like lure me into being your mate with free beer.
Well, come round. 97 Charlotte Street. Come round.
So you're saying a fiver and beers to come round to your place?
And I've got no one here. I've got no one here. Come alone.
I'm not surprised you got no one there.
Come alone, or bring your girlfriend.
You're a nutter. You're an absolute nutter, mate. You're trying to get people round your house with beer and money. There's like a word for that.
Go on, what is the word?
But it's like sort of beer prostitution. It's like luring people in. It's unbelievable.
Right, I'll meet you halfway.
I don't know. I like a beer. Everyone likes a beer.
Right. Okay. I know that.
I don't like this.
Okay, joking aside, what's your address, mate?
I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you this. Why would... That's my place. That's where I live, yeah?
Yeah.
If people come, I invite them.
Right.
If people come, I invite them. Not people not just because they're going to drop off some beer.
Four cans of beer.
It just doesn't happen. Things like this just don't happen.
Look. Let's settle this now. You come round to my place, okay? Wait. Bring your girlfriend so you feel safe. I've got no one here. I'm by myself. You come round. We have a laugh. We play a few games.
It's not going to happen.
And we have a few drinks. We drink some of the beer, but some of the beer I'll pour over you and your girlfriend.
Oh, that's it, mate.
I really look forward to this show. Right, I get, oh great, we're going to do a show and we're going to play some tracks we like and have a laugh. But now I'm looking forward to meeting Carl.
Of course.
Honestly, I come in and I see his face and I go, alright, and I'm, just great, like just a little friend. Do you know what I mean? You know when a kid comes on to play with a friend, you go, oh, and can I come out to play? And it's like little friends. It's like that with Carl.
Yeah. Yeah, because we don't see him in the week, you see. We deliberately stay away from him in the week so that he'll be fresh to us.
Yeah,
go on.
You start off friendly, like you did today, and as soon as Steve turns up, you start getting nasty and saying things about my little bald head.
No, I said, look, okay, right, listen, let me explain. Carl was making the tea, and you know those bins, the sort of like a round sort of Metal Mickey type bin that you can take off the thing? I went, oh, that would make a good little helmet. It would make it look like Metal Mickey because it's the same shape as his head.
Sure.
Right? And I put it on and
so far, so good, Rick. No problem there. That's just two mates having a laugh.
Right.
You're putting a bin on another man's head.
Right. So I put it on, and the swing bit, through gravity and the angle, swung and hit him in the nose.
Sure.
Right? He went, ow. And I went, I said something like, it's alright.
Yeah, of course, because you were being amused.
Yeah, I said, it's alright, don't worry.
Yeah.
And he went, no, I've just washed my hair.
Yeah.
That annoyed me.
That did annoy you, sure.
Because there was lots of, like, shit and coffee and horrible, gunk.
In his hair, or?
No, in the inside of the bin.
Sure.
But what annoyed me is, he's hardly got any hair.
Let's be honest, he looks like Moby.
Yeah, so I said, I took the bin off.
Yeah.
And I was having a laugh, and I thought, You
ruined my fun, is what
you
you
know what
thought.
I mean? I said, what's your hair? I said, we could do that now in 30 seconds.
Yes.
And he looked at me like I was in the wrong.
I know. Rick, that annoys me about him.
I know.
That doesn't annoy me about him. But otherwise, he's like childlike.
Yeah,
you know, in so
he's
many other
great.
ways. He doesn't understand that he's hurting your emotions and your
Yeah,
feelings.
but also, right, we were playing football, so I can't play football, right, and so we were playing
Was that
football.
just in the office, or?
Yeah, just in the office before he came, right, and, we were sort of kicking it back and forth, and I started kicking it a bit hard, and, but he was quite good. I said, this is great, right, and, we finished anyway, because we thought we'd break some, and, I went, I bet you were quite good at football, weren't you? And I actually thought he looked like quite a natural, I thought he'd be good, he's from the north, and I thought that's all he'd have.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Right? And he went, I said, I suppose you're quite good at football, and he turned, the quickest flash, I went, I've scored once, right? He said, and that's because I was being chased by a bee. And I went, save it!
Yeah.
He went, no, I said, please, Please save it, because I want to tell Steve that. No, you can continue now.
Please tell us the rest of the story. You've scored a goal once
Well,
because you're being chased by a bee.
Yeah, you've done it now, really. I was on the,
There must be more to that story, Cayman.
I was in the school team. I wasn't that good as a kid at football, to
Right.
be honest. Mainly down to, I think it's because my dad wasn't into football.
Right.
I think that's the way it works, isn't it? If your dad's into it, then you could be a footballer when you're older.
Sure.
Yep.
Because you're into it. And so I was in the school team because I got on with the other lads. They let me in the team.
Popular guy, yeah.
Sure.
And yeah, I was stood there doing nothing because I didn't really know what to do. I never knew which way I was meant to be shooting.
Yeah.
Got all that messed up.
Yeah, that is a
And I just stood there, right, and with my hands behind my back, and something landed on me on like this part of my thumb.
You can't just point. It's radio.
It's this bit here.
Right, yeah.
The
The
base of
fleshy
your thumb,
bit. The
yeah.
fleshy bit of the
Fleshy
thumb. Yeah.
And I thought, oh, what's that? And I looked down, and
It
it was
was
a
a
bee.
thumb. Oh, it was a bee, yeah.
It was a bee on me. So I start running,
Yeah.
try to get away from it, and bees. Actually, something interesting about bees. More chance of getting stung by a bee in windy weather than any other sort of weather.
That's incredible.
Anyway, so I'm running away.
And he said there was no more.
Extraordinary. I've already learned many, many things. You're being chased by the bee. It's
So
windy.
I'm running.
It's on your thumb. Is it still on your thumb now?
It's sort of gripping onto me like a stag
Clever,
beetle.
clever.
I love it. Oh,
Or a bee.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm running, and I'm running towards like the goal.
Yeah.
Oh God! And the ball comes to me.
Yes.
Wallop, get it in.
Brilliant. What happened to the bee though? Did it sting you?
They die, don't they?
I mean, ultimately it died, sure, but at that particular moment,
I
did
mean,
it sting you?
this was probably about 20 years ago, so I imagine.
No. Once a bee stings
So
you,
did
that's
it sting
Yeah,
you?
but did it sting you?
Yeah.
Right, that was the question.
When did it sting you?
When I was playing football.
Carl, do you mind me asking, you say you're on the school football team. Was there just 11 boys at your school? Was that how you got in the squad?
Listen, Carl. Oh, what I mean is, at what point in this story did the bee sting you? Straight away?
After
or
half time.
Play a record, man.
Your feet are a bit dirty. You drink it. What do you mean?
Add a look online to see what's been going on. Scientists say that Everest, brackets, the mountain, just in case you've confused that with any other Everests.
Maybe the double glazing people.
Yeah. You say that scientists say that Everest has grown a bit. The way they were talking about it, you'd have thought it's grown loads. It's only inches.
No, isn't that... They found out that it's actually a couple of inches taller than they first thought because their methods of measuring are more accurate than they were 20 years ago. So it's bigger than they thought it was. It hasn't grown.
No, I just think what's happened is at the bottom, because of like people are always climbing up it, aren't they? Right?
Yeah.
So they're sort of wearing away the
Don't
soil at the bottom.
talk rubbish.
So
they've
It's
all-
always
also,
pushed it down.
it's
It's
also
just
measured against sea level. It's not measured about when you get... Otherwise they'd just dig a big hole, wouldn't they, and go, right, it's down to here. If the
no, but
peak
does it,
is measured
at the end
against
of the day,
sea
though,
level.
does it matter at the end of the day?
No, but it's just nice to know, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is we don't need to know that. It's not going to put anyone off. Like Brian Blessed, who's always climbing up there for fun. He's not going to go, oh, I could handle it last year, but 2 more inches. Forget that. Going to be shattered. So don't worry about it. It doesn't matter how big it is. Something else, though, that's happened since, right? They were climbing up there, and someone got near the top, and they were sort of climbing up like that, holding the cliff edge and that.
And they'd forgotten the flag. Had to go back.
No, their hand hit the bit of rock, and it went like, ding. I'm like, what's that? It went, ding, ding. Put another hand up, ding, ding. Piano under there. They don't know how it's got there.
Right, you're talking shit again.
Someone's been tipping.
Well, oh, right.
Up Everest.
Okay. The council won't even take away your washing machine unless you pay them. They're not going to sneak up Everest.
No, this is the problem, innit? Because the council won't take anything. People are going, what can we do with this?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, yeah. Just sneak up Everest. It'll take you 9 days, and you may die. But just pop it up on Everest.
Well, I know for a fact that you've confused a few things there, because I think the piano being found was actually somewhere in Scotland, some kind of moor in Scotland, and they found a piano up there, and everyone said, I don't understand, how's the piano doing up here? And it turned out that some guy, one of these people who like tries to break world records, had dragged a piano up there as some kind of feat of endurance, but thought, I'll be damned if I'm going to take it back again, and just left it up there. It wasn't, bloody tipping or aliens or anything.
My dad used to bury things in the garden because the council used to charge for like washing machines and mangles and cookers and pets.
So I'm just thinking in millions of years when they dig that up, they think that dogs used to cook and do washing up and things.
Yeah.
I love the idea of burying utensils. And think of the hole big enough to bury a washing machine.
Or a mango. So whoever kind of bought that house after your dad,
I don't know.
they got a little treating store.
Yeah, lovely little themed rockery.
Yeah. The weather is weird this morning. 1 minute it's sunny, then it's thundering, then hailstones, then it's sunny again. People will be saying it's global warming. I don't really know what that means. Everything's changing all the time, innit? I wonder if years ago, when we first came out of the sea and we walked on land upright, did people blame the weather for that?
Good point, isn't it?
No, it's so stupid.
Yeah, ridiculous.
We didn't come out of the sea and instantly start walking around like humans and go, oh, can you believe it? We were swimming around, we were having a whale of a time. Do you know what? I blame the weather.
No, but now they would, if that happened. It's the same way, say like evolution, right? We talk about it a lot, right? Now, years ago, I don't know how it happened, but some whale had legs, right?
Yeah.
This is how it started.
Before he was a whale, yeah. Whales started off with legs,
They
that's
were roaming
right.
about on the beachfront, right? Anyway, it worked out that, you know, they didn't like it or whatever, get back in. Now, say if that happened again now, right? Say if someone's born and they always say, don't they, check for lumps and stuff, right? Make sure you haven't got any lumps. Now, say
Sorry, who says this and what's the...
like magazines and doctors and that.
What,
always saying, check
when
for
you were
lumps.
first born?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
arbitrary decision, that answer.
But
Go on.
all I mean is, now, say if like our evolution thing is kind of like the next level is for us to have 3 legs because we're that busy on the world now.
But it
Everyone's
doesn't work like
multitasking.
that. Why would it work like that?
Because that's nature, innit? It deals with it. If people are getting stressed out and getting achy legs a lot, because they're going, well, what you're doing there is you're using 2 legs like you've got 3. You need another one. But the problem is...
No.
Say if someone grew a leg now, because it's like, well, we need 3 legs.
Yeah, but...
Let him finish.
Okay.
People would go, oh, I found a lump, right? And the doctor would go, oh, whip that out. Now, that could be a 3rd leg. That's growing.
But, Carl, evolution doesn't work like that.
It does work
Suddenly
like that.
something isn't born with a perfectly formed 3rd leg that can be passed on.
I know, it's a lump. It starts off like a lump, and if you left it alone,
Yeah.
it would eventually, over a bit of time...
No, over many, many millions of years.
Yeah, but it'd grow as another leg, but we're not letting that happen anymore.
It also wouldn't happen. Limbs don't work like that either.
They do if you keep putting extra pressure on 2 legs.
Carl, you're honestly, what you imagine the process of evolution and natural selection to be is, it's beyond me. It's incredible.
But it depends whatever your surroundings are. That's what you change to, isn't it? Like the.
Well, you don't change to it. You're either selected or you're not. So, what happens is there's a genetic throw up. So something's born, a llama's born with a slightly longer neck. And if that gets, the leaves that are slightly higher up and it survives, it lives longer, it passes on its genetic material. Soon, if that works, now over millions and millions of years, that they're the dominant species, a new species is thrown up with a slightly longer neck, and so on and so on, and it's gradual. It's just a slight advantage.
Sometimes it happens quicker than that. There's been animals that have had eyes and then they go, oh, they don't need them, they go in the space of a fortnight.
What? No, what are you talking about?
There's a lizard somewhere where it's roaming about in the dark and it used to have eyes, and they used to be like, why have we got eyes and that? What's the point in having these? Because we're keeping them open. And they were getting more tired. Because at the end of the day, if your eyes are open, do you know what I mean? Blind people can stay up longer than someone with eyes.
Keep going. I want to follow this through to its natural conclusion. Keep going.
There is nothing to do.
Right. The first signs of you getting tired, you go, oh, my eyes, I can hardly keep them open.
Yeah.
So a blind person doesn't get that because they can roam about with them shut like that.
So they never sleep, do they, blind people?
Well, they sleep, but they don't need as much because their eyes aren't stinging.
All guessing, all guesswork, and all nonsense. I mean, all nonsense.
Well, hang on, fair enough. Okay, even if we accept that to be true of blind people, what was happening with the lizards? The lizards were going, I can't believe this is mad. We don't need our eyes. We're down underground. What's the point? Jeff, Bill, let's just no longer use eyes.
Well, they were just like, in a way, it's better if we keep our eyes shut to keep the soil out and stuff. And then over time, they were like, oh, my eyes are stuck. Like the time when...
For a fortnight, you said?
No. It's over hundreds of millions of years. And the other thing is, it's not the case that there's no will to evolution. What happened was that a blind one had no disadvantage, so he was selected better than one with eyes that maybe would find it irritating or getting in the way. You know, just like a snake, it's not a disadvantage for a snake to lose its legs because it's selected, and then it's an advantage because they can get into places that legs would get in the way.
Like I've said before, right? You see like a little fella, like a midget or a dwarf or something.
Right.
Who's to say that isn't the way we should be?
Do you mean, how do we know that...
Well, everybody looks at them and goes, oh, look, little fella. But really, it doesn't matter. If we were all like that, the world would be a better place because it's bigger, so there's more to see. Whereas for us, we're getting bigger all the time. The world isn't growing, so there's less to see for us. So for a midget, the world is brilliant. So I'd say it'd be good if we do go backwards as opposed to forwards. Instead of us getting bigger all the time...
do you want a cup of tea?
No,
I might show off, mate, and leave you to it.
Do you know what I mean, though?
We haven't got any... We've only got instant coffee as well.
No,
Yeah, I might pop out for something.
But what I mean is, they always say,
I'll make it.
the body's...
No, thanks, mate. But
Tell me when he's finished.
I'm just saying the body's getting bigger. And instead of going forward...
No sugar for me, thanks.
Do you want milk, though?
Yeah, milk.
Forget it.
My name's Steve Merchant.
Yeah, Carl.
I'm Carl.
Yeah, exactly.
You've not lost interest, have you, Rick?
No, of course I haven't.
Okay. Go on.
It's silly to... I've said it once. I was a bit bored with just saying your names.
Okay.
I don't mind saying mine, because I'm sort of interested in that.
Yeah, sure.
But the other ones are sort of more of a chore. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing in it for me.
Yes, there's no actual
I'd
personal gain.
rather not mention either of you.
Okay.
So, if you want to do it from now on...
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, obviously still got plenty to come. We've obviously got some great music, Rick, and that's
well, I've got, a bit of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Actually, an album you introduced me to, and I'm gonna play, Into My Arms.
Looking forward
and
to
you
that.
know how beautiful that song is.
That's true enough.
Yeah.
But I was talking about this little bit of acting I was doing yesterday, and not wishing to be disrespectful to anyone that was involved, but there was obviously some extras or supporting artists, as I believe they're known, and all good, lovely people, really putting the effort in, doing good work and everything. But there's just one guy I was stood next to, and he's quite a tall guy, not quite as tall as me, but tall guy, quite a good-looking bloke or whatever. And I just sat there, and he obviously gets quite boring because there's a lot of just hanging around and people waiting and stuff, fixing lights. I just stood next to him, and he just went, oh, he was looking for something to say to me, obviously, and he went, looking forward to the new Guns N' Roses album? And I went, I didn't realise there was one on the way, actually. He went, yeah, obviously they, Slash won't be in it, because obviously Slash is no longer with them, but, bloody hell, Sweet Child of Mine, one of my favourites, just started singing some of the songs. I went, okay, great.
Without irony, I
absolutely
assume.
without irony. He was just wanting to get onto a discussion of Guns N' Roses, but I'll tell you this, he did not look like a rocker in any way. He looked like a bloke who would work in sort of an accountancy, agency, or Barclays, behind the counter, something like that. Very well scrubbed, well groomed.
I was saying, there's nothing wrong with Barclays or the people who work therein.
That's true enough.
Okay.
So he goes, yeah, I mean, I got into them with Appetite for Destruction, the classic first album, but I even, I enjoyed the Spaghetti Incident as well. I mean, I like all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, okay. And he goes, I said to him, have you ever seen them live or anything? He went, I have not seen them live, no, but I was lucky enough to be at Donington, Monsters of Rock, and, Slash's Snake Pit was playing, which was Slash's solo effort.
Yeah.
And he went, I've never been to, those live gigs before, and, I was down in the mosh pit. Oh, man, and I was down there, and I'll tell you this, have you been in the mosh pit? I went, oh, no, he goes, oh, it's crazy down there, it's wild. A guy threw a punch at me, I punched him, knocked him straight out, he knocked me out, so this fight went off, oh, it was amazing. I went, you're gonna go back? He went, no, I won't, because once you've done something like that, you can never repeat the experience, I mean, everyone there was dressed in black. I think I was the only guy wearing a white t-shirt. I was like, okay, I could just imagine him tucked in as well.
That's why I attacked him.
Exactly.
It's like ants.
Yeah.
They
Slash himself, so
yeah, there's a termite in the nest.
Exactly.
And they just turned on him.
But so I'm going, okay, so do you go to gigs often? He went, no, I don't think I'm ever gonna go to another rock gig. And I said to him, why? And he went, I don't think any gig I go to will be able to top the experience of seeing UB40 live. And do you know what I mean? And I almost did what you did.
That's why I've never seen him live, because I don't want to end my life.
But I almost
laughed.
I thought it was a joke. I thought he was making a joke, and I was about to laugh, and I realised he was deadly serious, and I went,
UB40.
oh, good were they? He went, absolutely blinding. One of the most incredible live experiences I've ever seen.
I imagine.
Absolutely
Did they
remarkable.
do songs in a sort of mock reggae style?
Apparently
for
they
2
did.
hours.
And then he began to
Excellent.
tell me which of his favourite. He went, I don't know if I said, have they done anything recently or put anything out? He went, I don't think they're going to be able to top those classic albums, Bag o' Riddim and Rat in the Kitchen.
I remember once when I went to sign on. Okay, and I don't know what year it was, must have been like 1979 or something, and, I left school, and, tell me if I'm wrong if it wasn't out then, but this bloke was at the back with sort of like a ghetto blaster, and he was playing 1 in 10.
Right.
Obviously making a point, he was in the dole office.
Yeah.
Everyone ignored him, and when it finished playing, he turned it down. And he took a number and queued.
The days when they were a protest.
When was that? What year was that? What year did someone can pinpoint that for me. Phone in 08700 800 1234. I know it had just come out.
But what was amazing is when he said that about UB40 being the best live experience you've ever seen, it was one of those moments where you thought, I never thought I'd hear someone say that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know why I can't understand what kind of person you are. I suddenly realised at that moment there was such a chasm between us.
Is there anyone out there whose favourite band is UB40? Red Wine, maybe. UB40, yeah. Oh, they're a great bunch of blokes though. You see them, they crack me up when I see them interviewed. They're really funny. But, once you've heard one, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I imagine. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm a Philistine.
Maybe there's some hidden depths to them that we don't understand. Maybe some great tracks that you could point out if you're a big fan.
Well, I'm never gonna go and see him because why? No. Why sort of like top your experiences?
Exactly.
You know,
because you're never going to better it.
When I know I'm definitely dying, I'm gonna go.
You'll summon them to play for you.
Yeah. Get me UB40.
Get me Labour of Love live.
Do Right in the Kitchen. Am I? That's why you're on the show.
Talking about little gay fellas and that.
Yeah.
Northern Line, beach underground tube thing.
Not the boy band.
Right. Yeah. Apparently, on a Saturday night, late, I don't know what that is, what time late is in the sort of gay community, as we've discussed before. But apparently, the last carriage on the Northern Line, they all get in there.
What do you mean they all get in there?
They sort of take over the last carriage of the Northern Line on a Saturday night.
Right.
And it's like the gay carriage.
Right. And what exactly do? They just travel about on the Northern Line?
No, just have a chat and that, and like, just,
stick on the communards.
How do you know?
Someone told me.
See, I mean, I'm glad you've informed me, because it wouldn't bother me, but I feel I should be told about these things, because I'm likely to stumble onto that carriage by mistake, and it's not that it'd be a problem, it's just I might feel a little uncomfortable if there's a lot of people in, you know, the black, the black leather gear and the moustaches, the hats.
I mean, to be quite honest, they'd be annoyed.
Of course.
Because they'd be expecting something a little bit, you know.
What do you mean?
Well.
They're good looking, most of them.
Sure.
No, they are good looking fellas though, aren't they?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
They're just a lot of the gay, you know, they look after themselves and that and look good. Keep themselves.
Some of them work out, yeah.
You see, this is the problem I have, because there's a lot of areas in London and elsewhere in the country where there's a sort of, you know, it's a gay thing, you know, it's a gay public toilet, or I don't mean it's gay, but it's not like a legal thing.
You mean it's a cottage?
But it's a cottage, whatever. I mean, I remember being, in Bristol once doing some...
If you're confused when I said it's a cottage, that's a term for where gay people go in toilets to sort of meet and greet each other.
Well, I
shake hands.
I was at the public library in Bristol once doing some studies from a sixth form, and I think the toilet was closed in the library. I was dying for the toilet, and I popped out, and there was a public toilet behind the library. I thought, I can't believe my luck. Dashed down there. It was about 6-ish in the evening. I was working late. I was studying hard. I went in there, and I swear to God, I saw two fellas. With the...
Is that unusual? Or?
Well, no, they were up to some hijinks.
What they sort of like...
Do you know the thing that struck me?
What?
One of them had bright red underpants.
What do you mean?
They were actually doing, you know, they were having some kind of, you know... They were having relations. They weren't even in a cubicle, they were out in the...
Where were the underpants?
What, around his ankles?
No!
Yes, I swear to God, I'm not going to make this up.
What were you?
I don't know, like, how old you are in the sixth form? 16 or whatever? 17?
Yeah, and what did you do?
Well, I actually
said... Well, you just joined in, what else did you do? You might as well.
I actually swore, I said, oh, F me. And then I went, oh, no, don't. No, I did, I swear to God. I did. I went, oh, F me. No, don't. Because I was panicked, and I ran out. And as I was walking out, a guy was coming in, I went, oh, hang on, mate. And then I thought I better not tell him. I'll let him find out for himself. He might be going there to join in. He might have got a call. Come down. We're going crazy on each other's ass. Come down.
It's conspiracy, Bristol
But what
conspiracy.
annoyed me
my
was,
lover. Want a bit of cock?
what angered me, Rick, was the fact that I wasn't notified, that there was not, I didn't know
There was no sign.
And afterwards, I spoke to other people about it, and they said, oh, it's a famous gay haunt. But what annoys me is I feel that they should put an ad in the local press, a big paper, like once a week, like, you know, when they recall cars if they're damaged or there's a fault, or Currys might bring back stuff if they're sort of faulty goods, they say recall and we'll give you money back. They
What do you
put an ad in,
suggest?
the gay community should put an advert in that just says, these are the hot spots, this is where you're likely to find us doing some stuff. If you're not gay and you might feel uncomfortable, avoid them. And just list them, or little pictures, or, you know, a map or something. Anything, because like the gay tube thing, I don't know.
Cock fun. 1, 2, 3. Railway cuttings.
Well, not that. It's more of a sort of social awareness thing.
Yeah.
So people, you know, don't feel uncomfortable and.
But they don't want it exactly to be like sort of walking in under a neon sign.
Why? It's legal.
yeah, big arrows. Oh, as if.
What do you mean? What's wrong with that?
Because, well, it's actually a public place. I don't think cottaging is strictly legal.
But then even if to specify what they're going to do.
But some people, they're not, some of them aren't, I don't think it's
But they
probably
advertise
seen gays, is
GAY.
it? But it's not the people that go out and they say I'm gay and I like Barbara Streisand. It's presumably the sort of people that do that are people that either aren't quite out yet or, do you know what I mean? Or they're doing having a quick run away to their wife and kids.
Yeah.
I don't know completely how it works, but I'm sure there probably isn't a place like, free bumming here tonight.
No, there is kind of.
What?
Because I was walking home one night through Soho, right? Just 'cause that's the way I have to go, not 'cause I choose, you know what I mean? I wasn't going there on that, right? So I'm walking through, right? And, I was handed like a card, which was like a gay event, right? Now that's a bit weird, isn't it? That straight away he's presuming that because I'm there that time of night.
Well, and you've got a shaved head, and you sort of like, you know, you sort of like quite look after yourself, and you've got some nice clothes.
Yeah, but it's still,
And you look
can't
like a
really
little bit
presume.
rough, don't you, from Manchester?
It was
You look like a northern rent boy who comes down to
well,
stand outside McDonald's.
But
And
the card was rubbish, right?
what do you mean?
Had this fella on it, right? All sort of greased up and that.
Why would you look?
Just having a look what he'd handed me and that.
Right.
Just having a look. Picture of him, sort of sailor's hat on, tan body, like, just his arse out, like that. And, rubbish slogan, right? The best bum in W1.
Is bum there a noun or like a verb?
What do you mean?
Well, to bum. Is it like, get the best bum you've ever had? Or, he had the best bum?
I think it's just
I don't
like
suppose you asked.
No.
I don't suppose you called the number to check. What do you mean exactly by this? Does it mean you've got a great arse?
Do
'Cause
you
I think
mean I
mine's
will
good.
be well bummed? Or do you mean you've just got a good...
Come on now, let's...
Can I just a final point about, because I asked my friend how it all works up on the Heath, because I live in Hampstead Heath, near Hampstead, and I was worried, I didn't want to go walking and get involved, get myself involved in anything.
How can you get involved?
No, but again, I didn't want to walk.
Sort of like, is it like, oh, you believe it? I couldn't say no. Oh, my wrist, it's knackered. What do you mean? Well, I was there for about 2 hours. I must have gone about 43 of them. But, you know, I didn't like to say no, because they were so pleased to see me. Oh,
well, it's
God.
not so much the fear of that. It's not
Good skiing practice. I was doing 2 at a time for a little while.
It's not the fear of that so much as the fact that, again, you don't want to gate crash someone else's party. Do you know what I mean?
No.
You don't, if there was a straight couple having sex, you'd want, oh, I'm sorry, and you'd want to avoid that area.
Yeah, of course.
But I find, so someone told me how it works, and apparently you just go and, you know, sit on a bench or something, and then a guy just sits on the bench, and they just look at each other. There's not really anything said, it's just a kind of nice evening or whatever. You know, I guess it's like 2 in the morning or whatever. And then they go off in the bushes and ding dong. But it's like, I don't know how that culture's developed.
I love this programme.
But why can't that be the case with women? That would be amazing. You just go out to the park, at 1 in the morning, you just sit on a bench, you just...
Be like a scene from Gigi.
Exactly.
Where he's just walking along with the perambulator.
Yeah. Exactly. But that would be a joy if there was none of this formality. You've got to talk to them, buy them dinner.
Oh,
you know,
you're joking.
Romance.
Oh, no.
Just this kind of informal thing. It'd be great.
So what would you do then? You go up to a woman and go, come on.
Yeah.
Let's stop mucking around.
We know why we're both sat on this bench.
There's a nice bush over there.
Yeah.
Let's have a bit.
Yeah, and then she'd go, yeah, great, thanks. I'm killing some time before I, pop into town.
Yeah.
That'll be perfect, thanks. You make my weekend.
So you're jealous of gays as well as me?
In a sense. In a way.
What do you think, Carl?
Let's put a track on.
Why? Are you getting scared now?
You brought it up.
Is it getting too close to the bone, so to speak?
And they're listening and then that's what you're like. It's extraordinary. But listen, seriously, I went home, I found this book, I found a couple of facts which I think are more up your street. Evolution, a little bit complicated. A little bit big. But this one, I think we may have mentioned it before, I think you'll like this. This is from a book of facts and trivia. The Egyptians trained baboons to wait on tables. That's interesting to you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Have you got any more there?
I'll see if I can find
Oh, he's interested.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the staff.
That did happen,
You pay peanuts,
definitely happened,
you get
yeah.
monkeys.
And then what did they go off and do after that?
Well, it doesn't say. So
I
this is
love
it.
the fact that he thinks, right, okay, so in his mind, it's now the monkey going, it's 5:30, I'm off, you know I was going early today, and they go off maybe dancing or something, or they come in late.
No, I assumed what you meant there is that was their first career move. And
Yeah,
then they
well,
went on. It's like actors waiting to be discovered.
Play a record.
Just one more before you play a record.
Go on, then.
You'll like this. Peter the Great. You ever heard of Peter the Great?
No.
Okay, well anyway, Peter the Great had his wife's lover
Oh.
executed.
You'll love this, Carl.
Right, so his wife had a lover, he had him executed, and he put his head into a jar of alcohol, and his wife had to keep it in her bedroom. Do you understand? That's every time every morning she'd wake up, and there was her lover's head in a jar.
Who took his head off? He took his own head off.
Play a record.
Play a record.
Mad World on XFM. We just had a text, Rick, from Andrew Barnes. He says he watched the same documentary, it would appear, as Carl did in the week. And he says here, just to clarify, the leech nose man got it up there when drinking from a muddy stream. And he goes on, one can only imagine the frightenedness he experienced.
Oh, Carl. Explain to him once more what happened with Peter the Great.
Alright, so we've got Peter the Great.
Yeah.
Okay. And his wife had a lover.
That's
on the
another
side.
man.
Another man.
Not Peter the Great.
She was having an affair with someone else.
Right.
And Peter the Great, he found out about that. Okay?
Yeah.
So he sliced off this bloke's head, he killed him, he executed him.
Right.
You with me so far?
The fella who
Oh, Jesus.
she was seeing for a bit.
Yeah, there's only two fellas involved.
There's two
here,
people
though.
involved. One's Peter the Great, the other one's
Right,
not.
right.
The guy that's not Peter the Great...
Derek the Terrible.
Derek the Rubbish.
Yeah.
Right? He's having an affair with Peter the Great's missus. So Peter the Great slices off his head, puts it inside a jar of alcohol to preserve it, and puts it in his wife's bedroom. So every morning she wakes up, she sees her dead lover's head.
You'd have thought he wouldn't have wanted to remember, wouldn't you?
Oh.
Best bury the head so she don't remember.
Well, it was a reminder so as not to put it about.
And did it work?
Oh, I don't know!
I love that. Again, that to me is an amazing thing to do. And you go, did it work? I mean, you've got quite an interesting mind, actually. I mean, you are, in some ways, really, really bright and intelligent. I love the way you think. You're one of the cleverest blokes in some ways that I know.
My dad always says I've got common sense.
Well...
Yeah.
And that's more important than knowing about,
But
goldfish
it's
and
what, it's like you follow the subplot, which is quite an interesting thing, do you know what I mean? It's like, you tell you a story, you'll always pick up on something that I didn't even think was an important bit. It's like you're always, you're looking out of the window all the time.
So what's important about that head thing?
What do you mean?
The head in the jar.
It's a grotesque thing to do. It shows ego, power, cruelty, and revenge.
Although I think it probably did work, because he is called Peter the Great.
Yeah.
So you'd assume he got it right.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can query that. That's the sort of facts you give us. You see now, you're on the other side of the fence, and you've got questions, just like we've always got questions.
No, but in Carl's thing, it would have been, turns out, some weird happened, right, and he was still alive.
Yeah.
And so she was still having sex with body, and his head was watching.
Yeah.
And Peter the Great didn't even know.
See how he's perked up?
I understand what you're saying. Now I've learned some other stuff, so I'll see if I can, educate you a bit before 3.
But I want to know. See what? I'll tell you what education I want. I want to know what sort of things I can buy this weekend.
Butt plugs.
No. Have you got any adverts?
Oh, yeah.